Well, in the 80s, there were a few cooler punk outfits than Transvision Vamp. Led by the enigmatic Wendy James, the band notched up massive hits, including I Want Your Love and Baby, I Don't Care.
I don't want your money, honey, I want your love. And I don't want your car, baby, I want your...
And now, after taking a break, forging a solo career and working with some of music's most influential figures, Wendy James is back, armed with a brand new album. And Wendy James joins us now live from Paris. Good evening to you, Wendy. Thank you so much for talking to us. Let's go back to where it all began. It's been nearly 30 years since Transvision Vamp formed. How do you look back on that time?
You know, very well. Now that I'm making new music, so I have more contact with old fans who are still being completely enthusiastic and loyal to me, and they've kind of followed me through all the different progressions. They often remind me of what the show's meant to them and how it changed their lives, or it was the first show they ever saw. So I'm constantly surrounded by memories of Transvision Vamp.
Well, you guys became so popular so quickly after the release of I Want Your Love, and that's probably why they're stuck by you. Is it hard to kind of maintain a level head or a group kind of status when that popularity happens so quickly?
It really is, because I try to describe it to my friends who ask similar questions. And the truth is, when you're in a band in the end, we were a six-piece band, when you're in a band with 5 other guys, and actually your friends are still in the pub and nothing particular has changed in their lives. So even though our lifestyle was very international and fast-paced, our actual home lives, coming back, the pub was still the same, our friends were still the same, and we never were the kind of people, particularly that took to suddenly having entourages or limousines. We always, you know, we're kind of pub people and, you know, having a laugh, whether you're super famous or completely unknown. So, I mean, we made some money and we had oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry to cut you off. It's wonderful. I love hearing stories where a band, you know, gets great success and then remains so grounded and can go back to their hometown and hang out with their friends.
And also, I'm from an area of London, West London, that, you know, from the Rolling Stones through to the Clash and the Pistols, those guys had been there in the similar position a decade or 2 decades or 3 decades before us, and they were still in the pub as well. And I just think we grew up in a climate where we didn't want to be showbiz entertainers, we wanted to be band members.
Yeah, you're enormously lucky with that. In 1989, Baby I Don't Care became a huge hit, especially here in Australia. I remember seeing you in the band. What was it about that song that struck such a chord and made it such a big hit?
Baby I Don't Care?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect pop hit. It's the riff, really. It's the guitar riff, and the guitar riff is you know, a very obvious riff that Nick managed to very cleverly work into the song, and the melody and the attitude, and I just think Transvision Vamp, it would have happened whatever was going on, because we just hit one of those perfect waves of magic timing where we were ready for the world and the world was ready for us.
Oh, that's such a nice sentiment.
And that kind of magic, you know, and so you just can't plan for that to happen. You can make the best album in the world and then the timing isn't there. And timing, as comedians will tell you, is everything.
When the band did decide to go their separate ways, Wendy, you went solo and you got to work with Elvis Costello as one of your first collaborative artists. What did he bring to the table? I imagine so much.
Elvis was a really amazing learning curve for me, because up until then I'd only ever worked, you know, in an insular environment with the band members of Transvision Vamp. And all of a sudden I was working with Bob Dylan's backing band, and Elvis had written the material, and very high-powered music executives were involved. So I was really thrust into the big time, production-wise anyway, very quickly, and it was a really good musician learning moment because I was singing and I was performing with people that really were professionals, are professionals. So, yeah, really incredible.
The new album is called The Ticket, The Price of the Ticket, and as you've mentioned...
No, it's called The Price of the Ticket.
The Price of the Ticket. I'm really looking forward to listening to it. Like you've been mentioning, you've worked with some incredible people, Bob Dylan, you've also worked with Patti Smith's group, the Bad Seeds, Ziggy and the Stooges. What was it like to work with these guys?
You know, the actual musicians I'm working with, Lenny Kaye and James Williamson and Jim Sclavunos, who is, you know, an adopted son of Australia because he's been in Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds and Grinder Man for so long. These are my... Is what I was saying earlier about going back to the pub. Of course, they're in the Patti Smith group and they're in Iggy and the Stooges, but they're musicians, and real musicians like to play their instruments, have some drinks. You know, it's not like they're not big movie stars with entourages and PAs and makeup artists. They're guys that play their instruments. So what I love from it is, I think I get to be the musician that I always had the promise to be, and with these kind of players, then I actually get to be that.
Yeah, special times
They
indeed.
make me very inspired.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's a fantastic record. Wendy James, thank you so much for your time this evening. Please give our love to Paris.
May I just tell all of Australia who's watching now that you don't have to wait for the album, you can already buy it. If you go to pledgemusic.com, it's there on vinyl, it's there on CD, plus a few other things. And you know, a thread of all the news about where I'm going and what I'm doing. So pledgemusic.com, and the album is already there for you and it ships to Australia.
Fantastic. Wendy, we will make sure that we put all of that information up on our website for you, and we may also include some tour dates, which I know you're about to hit the road with the record and everything, which is very exciting. So we hope that you can make it down to Australia very, very soon. It's been really lovely to talk to you tonight.
I'll be back in Australia, I promise.
Thank you, Wendy.
Thanks,
all right,
Wendy.
Thank you.
Great lady.
Yeah, you can go to the website to get all of the details that we've just mentioned. The price of the ticket is actually available on Feb 12th as well.